I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil.
I remember I was only 13 when I met the demon. Gave me a deuce and a bundle of cocaine. Told me to sell to my people, make sure you keep them fiending. If any try to show you, make sure that you leave them leaking. He said, I'ma hold you down when problems pop up. How you got me moving this dope? Want me in lockup? He said, don't you want the Benz vertible with the top cut? Yeah. Stop, bitch, you get in that kitchen, let it rock up. Bitches love the dope boy, especially when it's guap up. I know you know Ron. You the plug from by the block up? I'll tell you a little secret, make sure that you keep your mouth shut. Ron got a Lexus, crib in Philly and Texas. Trips to the Bahamas, just got a whip for his mama. He fucking up them commas, be honest, he seen decent though. I hear you, but I just seen Ron about a week ago. In fact, he ain't looking too good, his knees is kinda slow. I asked him why the struggle, he got stuck up for his bundle. But them 6 hollow tips in his legs what made him crumble. Bitch, he got a house and mama is living good. Said the feds took it all, he right back in the hood. I see you try to play me, you gave us crack in the 80s. Made us abort our babies and making hoes out our ladies. I know you got me gravy, but Satan, you must be crazy. It's gonna take more than them cars when to amaze me. I seen niggas shoot for the stars, but being lazy. Never get their head at the clouds, so you don't faze me. I guarantee that you gon' regret it. Remember I said it. Nah, you could dead it. What you saying? I can't win? Nah, devil, nice try. So until we meet again,
I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils. Then we seen the rise of the devil. We fell for the lies of the devil. When we got high was the devil. I looked into the eyes of the devil. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. I ain't religious or superstitious, but we've been getting fucked and put to the side like a mistress. Police patrolling why? Because prison became a business. They murder one of ours and they start talking about forgiveness. We think that it's alright because we got public assistance. If this ain't hell, dog, what is this? Where was all lives mattered when they killed Osama? There was no peace talk like the Dalai Lama. Bush dropping bombs saying he gon' bring the drama. They got justice, man, they even caught the Boston bomber. But when we ride, they send the military in armor. When we fight oppression, then our people die a martyr. You reap what you sow, some people call it karma. When Christ return, y'all gon' get this harvest like a farmer. Don't tell me don't bring up the past no more. They still trying to settle the score with a side of Shakur. I changed my life and I'm just trying to live life right. But at night I look behind me and see flashing lights, patting me down. You got nothing that's poking me right. I don't smoke or push pills, I gave up my vice. So Mr. Officer, why you wanna take my life? And Your Honor, why you gave our homeboy's life? I've been wondering why you shot our homeboy twice. Pussy with a gun screaming out that he got a knife. He came from Habibi's spot, it was chicken and rice. Shit's trife, I'm just giving visuals like Skype. Ask Trayvon, Mike Brown, Akai Gurley, Eric Garner, Sean Bell, Philando, Alden Sterling, Jaquan McDonald. The white man is so devilish. Ask Hammurabi, he'll tell you who the devil is. The white man is so devilish. Ask Hammurabi, he'll tell you who the devil is. I ain't have to die to meet the devil. Angels fell and landed in the ghetto. The earth was given to the hands of devils.
All right, go ahead and clap it up, clap it up. Hey, Shalom Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA, man. It's the Tuesday Brotherhood Breakdown class. Today we are teaching on keeping a house strong, man. In the days that we are living in broken homes. We are living in messed up situations because we didn't know what it was to truly keep a house strong, to truly and keep a house together. We all was raised, well, most of us was raised in a broke up home. Most of us was either raised by our mother, by our grandmother, by our father, but very few of us was raised by both parents. And this is the thing. Our parents didn't know what it was to keep a strong household. This is the age and society that we're in right now. They don't know what it is to keep a strong household, because the only thing that they see is what? Go in the clubs, find you a bad chick, knock her down. If you get her pregnant, be a baby daddy or be a baby mother. You ain't got to keep the dude. You don't need to be together forever. So now that's everything that's being pushed. What's being pushed right now is do whatever you want to do. Live the life that you feel like living. If you don't want the baby, abort the baby. If you don't want to be in a relationship, then you know what? Even though that you gave yourself to this person, oh, you ain't got to be with them. You can walk away from them. You don't have to man up and be, held for your, responsibilities. As a woman, you don't have to be a woman and deal with the consequences of your own actions. The society that we live in right now is tearing us down. It is killing our people left and right, because don't nobody know what it is to keep your house strong. Keeping your house strong is not only keeping the man and the woman, the black man, black man, black woman, Hispanic man, even if it's a black man and Hispanic woman. The 12 tribes of Israel, if you sit down here and decide you're going to be married, which means you decide, you know what, I like this woman, I'm about to have sex with her. That is your wife, man. Sisters, if you lay down with a man, understand that you are saying that this is your husband. And y'all need to stay together. Y'all need to build together, because at the end of the day, that's the only way for you to keep a house strong. Staying together, following the law, statutes, and commandments. Not only following the law, statutes, and commandments, making sure that whatever you do and whoever you add on to your household, if it's children, if it's, brother, if you get more wives, everybody has to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Everybody has to be taught that. But it starts with the men. It's time for us to keep the men in the household. Men, it's time for us to stay in the household and not walk away from our household just because we're tired of arguing, just because we're tired of these things. Sisters, don't be a dragon. If you got a man that wants to be in the household with you, y'all get counseling. Instead of arguing and fussing and fighting all the time, get counseling. Counseling works if both parties want to heed to it. You can't say it doesn't work, because if both parties sit here and heed to the counsel and both submit to what the counselor is saying do to fix the marriage and fix the relationship and create better communication between you, then everything would be better. Let's go to, we're going to go start off with 1 Corinthians 11:3 real quick. Just let me know once you have it. Because that's all we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about keeping your house strong and what you need to do to keep your house strong and the information you need to know, so that way you can make sure that your house is never broken apart again, that you can break the generational curse that's been plaguing us for generations on generations, passed down from your big mama to your grandmama to your mama and now to you. It's time for us to break that. We can stop that. Go ahead.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
Understand this. The first thing you need to know, you have to know the rank and order structure in a household. We all know that Christ was God's son, but after you have God, you have Christ, then you have the man, then you have the woman, then you have the children. Understand? That's what we have to understand. The reason why we have a rank and order structure is not for somebody to be like, oh, I'm the head. Nah, it's for if a situation occurs, how are we going to deal with that? See, here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, man, we deal with situations differently. The rank and order structure is there because if you, say for instance, you're a captain, and then you got 5,000 under you, and then you got thousands and 500s under you, right? If an order gets passed down from captain, let's just say Captain Yatazak decides to give an order, right? He gives it to the 5,000s. What's the 5,000s job to do? The 5,000s, his job is to get the order complete. And by getting the order complete, he is to oversight everything because the report has to go back up to Captain Yatazak that the order is being completed. So if Captain Yatazak decides to give us an order that says, you know what, I want this whole school cleaned up. I want a new podium. I want it to look for the Feast of Dedication. I want the whole school to look different. As a 5,000, your job is to say, "Con on one con, sir." And now your job is to figure out what to do to try to get it done. And then you pass it down to them. All right, hey, brothers, I need 5 brothers. Hey, man, you an officer of 1,000. What you doing? What you doing for the next couple of days? All right, I need you to get 5 other brothers, and I need y'all to meet me at the school. We're going to meet at the school every day for the next 3 days at 7 o'clock. That's when we're going to meet at the school. We're going to get the job done. And if it does not get done, then what has to happen? A report has to be made. See, the rank and order structure is there for a reason. Because if that 1,000 and those brothers underneath him don't get the job done, then what happens? That 5,000 has to go back up to the captain and say, "Salakia, sir, you know, the order that you gave me didn't get done in the time frame that you wanted it to get done," which means that he's going to get the check-in. And that check-in rolls down because the 5,000, after he gets checked, what is he going to do? He's going to go correct the 1,000 and the 500s and the brothers that was supposed to meet up with him because the job didn't get done after he gave the orders. That's the same thing in a household. In a household, see, a lot of times people get mad about when men talk about rank and order and structure, but we're keeping you safe because you are under our umbrella. So when certain things happens in a household, who do y'all want to go check? If somebody's breaking in the middle of the night, who y'all want to go check? Y'all want the man to be a man and go check the house, right? Okay. If something happens with the bills and the bills slip, who needs to make sure that everything is taken care of at the end of the day? You want the man to go do that, right? So why do you have a problem with the man taking the lead in the household to make sure that the household is straight? Like, it's nothing wrong with people having a partnership. A man and a woman can have a partnership, but the final say needs to go to the person that's going to put his life on the line if something happens. The final say is the man. Because, like I said, the head of every man is what? Christ. And the head of every woman is the man. And the head of Christ is what? The Most High. There's rank and order structure for a reason. Because I'm going to tell you now, and if you ask a bunch of single women that's single mothers, they don't like that. They don't prefer to be single women like that. You want to know why? Because at the end of the day, they still wish that they had a man that could take care of some of these responsibilities. But the problem that we've been having is this. All the government and everything that you look at, if you look at social media, if you look at what they're pushing in the agendas, they always push to break up a household. They tell the black women, you could be independent. You don't need no man. You know that they only say that to black women? Like, that's the craziest thing, because if you talk to the Hispanic sisters, nobody's pushing for a Hispanic sister to be by herself. Nobody's pushing for a Native Indian sister to be by herself. The only people that's getting that agenda is black women. And that's something that is crazy to see, because the only people that feel like they really don't need a man, but then when they don't have it, they wish deep down that they still had somebody that could be there to protect them and make them feel like they don't have to carry the burden. It's the same people that followed that agenda. And we have to break that. As men, we have to stay in our households. I ain't saying, just be abused and used in your household. I'm saying, bro, we have to fight to love our people. We have to fight to love our households and our women and to teach them in the right way. But the only way that you could teach them the right way is for you to change as well. You have to make sure that you are right, so that way you can make sure that your household is straight. Because if you wicked, then what do you think that your household gonna be? Wicked. You can't be mad that your household is falling apart when the only thing that you decide you want to do is stuff that's wicked 24/7. We have to be the change. As men, we have to stand up and understand that it's our job. It says it in the Bible. Matter of fact, let me pull it in the Bible. Go to Romans 12:2. I'm going to show you exactly why, as men, we have to stand up and we have to be the most righteous to protect our households. Go ahead, read once you have it.
Okay. This is the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2. And be not conformed to this world.
Shalaka, hold on. I gave you the wrong one.
Okay.
Shalaka. Go. Shalaka. Go to Shalaka, man. Go to the one that says, go to Mark 3:27. Shalaka. Mark 3:27.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 27.
Right.
And should sheep, and should sleep and rise night and day, and the seed should spread and grow up.
That's the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 27.
Sir.
No. Go ahead.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 27.
Right.
No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods,
Right.
except he will first bind the strong man.
Understand this, man. The reason why black men, Hispanic men, and Native Indian men, we have to be the most righteous, we have to be the strongest and strong-willed and strong-minded to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, is because you have to understand what the Bible says. The Bible says no man can come into a strong man's household, but first he has to do what?
Bind the strong man.
He has to bind the strong man. Now, being binded, I'm going to go ahead and read the definition of bind. The definition of bind says, is to tie or fasten tightly. Is to cohere or cause to cohere in a single mass. It's bondage. Understand this. Black men, Hispanic men, and Native Indian men. There's multiple ways for them to bind you. They use drugs to bind us. because they want to push drugs on us. It's either selling drugs or doing drugs. Gang activity. We killing each other over a color. Now they pushing these alternative lifestyle agendas towards our strong men. Now instead of you wanting a Keisha or Susie or something like that, now all of a sudden they got you wanting Tim. A man ain't supposed to be with a man, but that's the agenda that they pushing. A man ain't supposed to be killing each other over a color, but that's the agenda that they pushing. They want you to what? Give up on your own kind. Give up on the 12 tribes of Israel. Give up on your black woman. Give up on your Hispanic woman and go get you a white girl. Why? Why do they want you to get you an Edomite? Because they want the household to not be strong with the 12 tribes of Israel. So they are binding you. The only way that they can destroy a strong household is to bind the strong man. What else are they doing? Like I said, they're pushing the agenda, telling your woman that she doesn't need you in the household. They telling her, you know what? You get him out the household, I'll take care of you. I'll give you Section 8. I'll give you food stamps. I'll give you, bro. Do you know that you can't get food stamps if you have like a double parent household, 2-parent household? They rarely give you food stamps. If they give you food stamps, it's like $40. And what can you really get with $40 on food stamps a month? Right. But if you say that you're a single mother, if you say you're a single mother with kids, guess how much they're going to give you for food stamps? $300, $400. So you'll get more if the man ain't in the house than you would if he is. So what do you think that that's going to do? That's going to make the woman be like, you know what? The next argument, it don't matter how small the argument was, it's going to be like, I could do better without you. I'm sitting here struggling because I'm trying to be loyal to you and be with you, but I could do more if I didn't have you in the house with me. And what is that doing in all? That's binding who?
Strong man, I don't want.
And it's making the household what?
Weak, sir.
Exactly. You had something up?
Con, they're essentially incentivizing, they're incentive paying our sisters to kick us out the house.
Exactly. That's what they've been doing. They've been doing that for years and years. This ain't something new. This is something old. This been going on for years. And that's the problem, dog. Like, when are we going to stop letting them pimp us out of our strongholds? Because that's the only thing that they're doing. They just dangling something that's good in front of your face. And then as soon as you go for it, they pull it back. And then now you stuck because you made a decision thinking that you're going to have a better life, but really and truthfully, they just pulled the wool over your eyes. As a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, you got to understand this. This world does not want you with your family. This world wants you to be a deadbeat. This world wants you to sit here and go against being with your family. See, here in the I.S.U.P.K, we fight to keep our family together. We teach our family. We teach our children. Our children don't have to worry about being in a broken home because they know for a fact, Daddy doing the work of the Lord, but he's going to come back. He's not going to go for milk and never show up again. Daddy ain't going for cigarettes and never coming back. He going to do the will of his father and then coming back and being a father. That's what we're doing here. We're teaching Black men to stand up, Hispanic men to stand up, Native Indian men to stand up and be who you are supposed to be. But the only way that you can do that is by you following the law, statutes, and commandments. You have to come out of this world and you have to realize that this world is playing a game. That's all that this is. This is just a game to them. But they don't realize that they're hurting people in the midst of this game. So you have to understand that this world and the people that are in this world aren't your friends. So this is what you'll have to do. Go now go to Romans 12:2. The water. Just let me know once you have it.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And be not conformed to this world.
Be not what?
Conformed to this world.
Understand this. The Bible is telling you, don't just sit here and be comfortable with the things that are of this world. Don't sit here and put yourself at a lower state to fit in with this world. It says, don't be conformed to this world, but do what?
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Why would the Bible tell Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that they need to be transformed by the renewing of their mind?
Because they got their mind stuck in this world.
Because they have their mind stuck in what? Everything that they see on TV. Trying to be just like the celebrities, trying to be just like the people that set on high places, right? And the people that set in these high places, really and truthfully, they are not your idols. They shouldn't be the people that you're looking up to. Because how often do they give back to the community to actually fix the community? Like, there's a bunch of celebrities that are worth what? Millions of dollars, billions of dollars, trillions of dollars, right? How many celebrities have really, if you worth 500 mil, if you got about 500 mil, and that's just low ball, you got about 500 mil in your bank account. How hard is it for you to just give 5 mil to cleaning up your community that you came from? Not only cleaning it up, but going in there, paying up some, like getting the people off the streets. If you really and truthfully cared, then you would be trying to get your people that's stuck on drugs, get them in a rehab facility. Your people that's losing their homes and getting evicted, paying up on some of their months of rent so that way they can get back on their feet. Giving them a place that they can go to actually get the help that they need. See, a lot of times that's not what's being done. What's being done is, I got mine, you better get yours. I worked hard to get mine, so now I'm not sharing, I'm not doing nothing. If you want something, you got to do like I did. You get it out the mud. And that's a selfish game. What are we fixing being selfish? Nothing at all. We have to stop trying to go based off of these idols, because these idols don't care about you. You have to be transformed in the renewing of your mind so that way you know exactly who you are supposed to be and who you are. See, this Bible lets you know, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you was put on this earth to be the greatest people on the face of this earth. But the only way that you can be the greatest people on the face of this earth is if you follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. It's okay for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to segregate themselves together. That's why Zephaniah says, gather yourselves together, O nation that's not desired. We know we're not desired in this world. Them Haitians, them Jamaicans, and all that, we know for a fact that this world don't love us. Why don't we band together? You see how they trying to deport us? You see how they trying to lock us up? You see that everything that we do around this world, everything is like a trap. They give you the drugs and tell you to go sell them, then lock you up for doing it. You want to know why you get locked up for doing it? Because you should have never did it in the first place. They sit here and tell the black woman and tell the women, you know what, divorce, kick your man out the household, call the police on your husband. Then once she does that, then what? Then they only give her the minimum help that they could give her. Now she's struggling. Now she wishing that the man that she was arguing with and got kicked out the household was back there. But if we was renewed of our minds, not following what this world is telling us, not what we seeing on TVs, watching what's the shows that they watching nowadays? Women, they always watching this yeah, Love and Hip Hop Housewives. They got something about baddies and stuff like that they watching. And nothing on them shows is saying keep a household together. All them shows is talking about a woman bossing up, being independent, don't need no man, getting drunk, wearing skimpy clothes, going to clubs, getting into fights. What about that says keep a household together? What about that says break a generational curse? What about any of those things says follow the law, statutes, and commandments? What's being pushed on these television shows is the agenda that your oppressor wants you to follow. And if you actually do what this Bible says, you can get out of that mind trick. Because right now, your oppressor is using that television to hypnotize you. It's just like that old school white and black circle that just keep going, and you got the hypnosis going on. That's what your oppressor's doing with the television shows that you're watching. He's training you to be the next baddie. And until while you training to be the next baddie, your kids is at home trying to figure out why they dad not there no more. Your kids trying to figure out why mommy always yelling and she's crying at night because the bills aren't getting paid the way that they're supposed to be. The kids is asking the question, why daddy didn't love us enough to stay? That was the same thing that we had to do. We went through that same stuff growing up, asking those same questions. Dang, why he ain't stay around? Why he ain't come to none of my football games, basketball games? And you want to know why? Because the agenda that was pushed was get him out the way. Hey, man, and she ain't trying to be with you, man. Hey, man, leave her. Those agendas don't help us. Getting counseling does. And the only true places you can really get some righteous counsel is here in the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General YAHANNA. Go to, matter of fact, this is going to further go based off of what I'm saying. Go to 1 John 2:15. Because if you are being transformed by the renewing of your mind, because it says, and be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. This is why we are renewing our mind. This is why we are transforming our minds. We have to be renewed because everything that we was taught, everything that we was trained since we were little and since we were young was to mess up our households, keep our households weak, keep our families broken up, broken apart. Having us be destroyed at young ages because you got kids in middle school. You got kids in middle school sitting here not only vaping, not only selling vapes, selling drugs, doing drugs, getting guns. It's crazy. When I used to work in school districts, I used to work at the alternative campuses. And our kids are so destroyed. There was a little boy being bullied by other kids, like by this other little boy, right? And the little boy didn't know how to deal with it. I asked the little boy, I said, how's your home life? He just was talking. He was just like, my mom, she does this, 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 this. Everything was my mom, my sisters, my grandma. But then there was no father. So everything that the boy learned was move off of his emotions. So because he was dealing with somebody that also ended up being at our school and also didn't have a father in the household and didn't have really too much clothes or anything. So that's why he was being a bully. Neither one of them knew how to control their emotions. So they ran off of their emotions. So the bully, because he kept bullying people, because he didn't have clothes, he was trying to figure out how he was going to eat. That's why anytime they had free lunch, he was eating free lunch and was still hungry. He was taught to go off of his emotions, and so was that other little kid. The other little kid ended up bringing a plastic knife that he sharpened up. He brought it to school, had it ready to shank the bully. And I'm talking about, these are middle school kids, 6th graders. He said he was tired of it. And this is the importance of keeping your household strong. If our children knew how not to go off of their emotions, if our children had both parents in the household, if our children had a better life, knowing that, you know, their families are together, their families don't have to be split up, everybody is good, they're able to have clothes, they're able to have food, they're able to have structure that they need, you wouldn't have had that bully, and you wouldn't have had that kid that's ready about to lose his life over this whole situation. And the craziest part about this whole story is this. When I sat down and talked to both of those kids, because I had to make sure that they wasn't going to bring that same stuff to this alternative campus, I sat down there and talked to both of those kids. When they had a male role model that actually showed that they cared, both of those kids, they not only shook hands, they talked about the subject, they was done beefing, the bully apologized, and they was cool afterwards. But they couldn't have done that with the mindset that they had at first. They had to renew their mindset. They had to see it from a different point of view and a different picture than what they was shown outside in this world. This world is not here to build you up. This world is here to break you down. It's to make you be weak. It's to make you crash out. Go ahead and read what you got. 1 John 2:15.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
Understand this. The Bible, the Most High didn't want you to love this world. The Bible says it. It's saying, love not the world, neither the things that are in this world. What are the things that are of this world? What are the things that are in this world? That your oppressor, like this is how we got to look at it. The things that are of this world and ran by this world right now is ran by your oppressor. What did your oppressor put in the streets? Your oppressor put nothing but drugs and violence in the streets and passed more laws to take away more rights from you. You have to love not the world, neither the things that are in this world. See, here in the I.S.U.P.K, we learned how to, you know what? All right, I'm going to put away the drugs. All right, I'm going to put away being a whore. I'm going to put away sitting here robbing people. I'm going to put away these frivolous things that I was doing to try to make ends meet. I don't have to sit here and take from somebody else and go sell it real quick to make ends meet. I can call a brother and be like, you know what? Hey, bro, look, man. Hey, I'm down on my luck right now. Look, man, you got a couple dollars that you can help me out with so I can take care of my kids. Here in the school, you can make that phone call, or you can call your treasury department. See, that's the difference between the I.S.U.P.K and churches. In churches, you can't call your treasury department because those churches are in the world. They love what the world taught them. The world taught them how to pimp. That's what churches are. Churches is the new pimping. Because what do? They want you to bring the money. They want you to go out, make the money, come in, bring the money, and you better not ask for that money back because they ain't coming back to you. Churches are the new pimp. And if you don't do what the pimp tell you to do, what does these churches do? They kick you out. They tell you, you know what, you can't come back here. Oh, if you're not gonna give your money up, then you know what, brother Jeffries, I don't know if this church is for you. You know, you being selfish with your tithe money. We know what you make in your tithes. We know what you make on your paycheck, and we just asking for 10%. And you don't want to give us the 10%? Well, brother, you can't come to this church. But see, in the I.S.U.P.K, though, that tithe that you giving in, those camp funds that you paying, what are they there for? They're there for the people. They're there for the brothers and sisters that really need help. You got a brother and sister in the school and they can't make it to the Passover. What is your Treasury Department going to do? Your Treasury Department is going to figure out what they can do to sit here and make it a way for you to make it to Passover. Shalom. Hey, shalom, Lord Christ. Shalom, I'm teaching. All right, I'll get back with you. All right. Okay. They're not going to sit here and tell you, oh, nah, hey, man, if you can't get your money up, man, they ain't got nothing to do with me, man. You know, you brought your tithes, but, you know, we ain't passing them back. Nah, that ain't what we do here in the I.S.U.P.K. In the I.S.U.P.K, we bring all the tithes into the storehouse. And when that storehouse needs to be opened up for the public to come get some, they can come and get that. Not only can they get help if they need to, they can get food, they can get clothes, they can get taught what they need. But you're not getting that in this world. That's why the Bible says, love not the world, neither the things that are in this world. Because the things that are in this world is nothing but pimping. They just take. And they just want you to give, and receive nothing in return. Keep reading.
Verse 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world.
Listen to what that said. The lust of the what?
Of the flesh.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
And lust of the eyes.
What is that saying right there? When it's talking about the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes, what is that talking about?
It's talking about all the things that make you get into a different spirit. You know what I'm saying? Weed, drinking too much.
Right.
Being with lascivious women and things like that.
Right. Those lustful things. The world has nothing but lustful things sitting right there at your fingertips. You go out into the world, you see, what do you see when you go to these clubs now?
Naked women.
You ain't even got to, this is the craziest thing. You ain't even got to go to the strip clubs no more to see naked women. The only thing you got to do is go to the club. Just go to any club, and it's just like you going to the strip club. And that's the craziest part. Because this world has taught our women to not only dress provocatively, but go out and be promiscuous. Why do you think that they coming with them bedroom two pieces or bedroom one sets that's so revealing? Why do you think that they had them do that? Why do you think that that's what they push on Shein and the Victoria's Secrets and stuff like that? Why do you think those things is just being pushed like that? It's being pushed because what? That's what they want you to dress like. They want you to dress like whores. But after they have you dress like whores, and women, you sit here and do it because you feel like that's the new fashion. As soon as somebody treats you like that, they treat you like the whore that you're dressed like, you get mad. Oh, I'm a respectable woman. Treat me with respect. Man, these guys so thirsty. Well, baby, you got your whole ass out. You got your whole breast out. Like, let me tell you something. Titty tape ain't blocking nothing. If you got everything out and the only thing that's being covered is your areolas, that you're not covering nothing, baby. You making yourself look like a $5 hoe. And then you want a man to treat you with respect, but the only thing that they're seeing is what a $5 hoe look like. Women, you got to have more respect for yourself. Men, you got to have more respect for yourself. Again, these are the things that keep a household strong. See, when I'm talking about a house, keeping a house strong, I'm not talking about just with a black man and a black woman in a household raising kids. No, I'm talking about the house of Israel. I'm talking about the 12 tribes. I'm talking about how we treat one another, how we talk to one another, how we love on one another. Those things is what our house is. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, Puerto Ricans, Colombians, Cubans, the Guatemalans, the Haitians, the Jamaicans. Like, that is our house. This is our house. And every time we step outside of our homes and go into the world, when we see each other, we should be respectful. We should dress like princesses and princes, not whores and whoremongers. We got to have more respect for ourselves. So don't fall for the flesh of your eyes. Don't fall for the what else did it say? It says fall for the what?
Lust of the eyes and the pride of life.
The lust of your eyes and your pride, and say it again.
And the pride of life.
And the pride of life. Like, we have to be that change, man. We have to be that. Let's drop that. Let's go to
Shalom.
2 Corinthians 10:3.
This book, 2 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. Verse 4.
Read it again from the Bible shop.
I don't come. This book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh.
Keep reading.
Verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
Keep going.
But mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds.
Understand this. Just because we're walking around this world that has nothing but flesh, nothing but all these things that are sitting here tearing down our households. Like, the weapons of our warfare is not carnal. Like, you got to understand this. What you are dealing with right now is not based off of carnality. It's not based off of what you really see. It's based off of the spiritual aspect of everything. You got to stop seeing stuff as, oh, this is what it is, and start looking at the spiritual aspects of it. You got to start seeing demons. You got to start seeing demons for when they are, where they are, and when they pop up. Because I'm going to tell you now, demons pop up all the time. Why you think you got people that got road rage? You got people that cut you off in the middle of the street. Why? Because these people have a job that they're doing based off of their father. who is the devil. Their demons is controlling them and making them do things to try to tick you off. Why do you think that every time, like, brothers and sisters that's in the truth, why do you think when you at your slavery, out of nowhere, is somebody that'll come up to you, start talking to you crazy, and you about to flash out, you about to click, you about to just go ahead and spaz? Why do you think that that person came and did that? Stop looking at it carnally. Stop looking at, oh, this person got me effed up today. Look at the spiritual aspect of it. If you a priest, you got to understand this. These demons want you to crash out. Because as soon as you crash out, what's going to happen? If you at your slavery and you crash out, you decide, you know, that boy Tim came up to you. You already told Tim the last time, hey, man, just stay over there. Stop tripping. Tim come up to you today, call you the B word, tell you, man, you ain't nothing but a hoe ass nigga, you a hun and all that. He trying to get you to go ahead and flash out. Why?
Oh, because you see that you're a priest. See how you carry yourself different, and he trying to get you out your spot. He gonna mess up your money, and he gonna mess around, put his cousin or whoever else gonna be in your spot, or he gonna be in your spot.
Exactly. He's just there. That demon just there to trick you out your position. They know for a fact, man, you trying to get your money to go to Passover right now. And what's gonna happen? All these different things gonna come out of nowhere. Why do you think, bro? Why do you think everything is happening to you right now? I don't know about you, but I know for a fact, man, I'm dealing with a lot of stuff going on right now. And I'm talking about it comes out the blue. Why? Because Passover coming up. I'm trying to make sure I can make it to Passover. I'm trying to make sure my family there. I'm trying to make sure everything good. And it seems like every time I turn around, something new is coming up. But if I think with my flesh, when these problems come up, if I think with my flesh, if I go based off of what my flesh is telling me to do, I'm going to lose everything that I need. I ain't going to make it to Passover. Why? Because I'm going to crash out and be in jail. I ain't going to make it to Passover because I ain't going to have enough money to, because I done sat here and slapped Tim or slapped Craig, and now I don't have a job. Now I can't do what I need to do for the Lord because what? I done sat here and crashed out for what? Something stupid. Understand this, man. Don't sit here and go based off of your flesh, man. When it says, for your weapons of your warfare is not carnal, but mighty through God to pull down of strong, God to the pulling down of strongholds. What are the strongholds that God is pulling down right now? What is the Most High showing Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians right now? What strongholds is he taking down? What strongholds is Christ pulling down, or the Most High is pulling down right now?
Strongholds of this world, the stronghold, the hold they got on your mind, as well as the strongholds of the world itself. You see, it's starting to collapse. All the food has the prices of food has risen exponentially. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
See, brother, this is the thing. Christ is showing you that everything that you love the most, you need to stop doing. And you need to start following him. See, why do you think that now every drug has fentanyl in it? You know how many people, you know, they used to always say, I ain't never heard of somebody dying or ODing off of weed, right? How many times have you heard somebody being killed or dead or, unalived, or sitting here having complications after smoking weed now? Because what? Now it's being sprayed down with fentanyl. Same thing that's happening with the crack. The crack got fatty in it. The Molly got fatty in it. People popping pills, and now they ODing because what? Fentanyl. The law, the Most High is tearing down these strongholds. Everything that you putting in these high places, the Lord is pulling it down, telling you, nope. Oh, you like the Christian church? Man, how many times have you heard about somebody being molested in a Christian church? How many times have you heard somebody being molested in the Catholic Church? How many times have all these churches that you putting in these high places, how many times have you heard about pastors sitting here doing money laundering or sitting here robbing the people of their money while he got on these jewelry and these big old and the big fancy cars and a big fancy house and all that? And now all of a sudden you see him with the paperwork being at these parties that he had no business being at. Or now all of a sudden this pastor's getting sicker and sicker after he's having all these mega churches. He was put on a pedestal for so many years. Now he's being torn down. What's happening to the TD Jakes? What's happening to the Creflo Dollars? I wouldn't be surprised if Joel Osteen's next. All these people that y'all putting in high places are being torn down. Why? Because these are the strongholds that's been holding the Most High's people. The Most High chose Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the Haitians, the Jamaicans, the Cubans, the Colombians, the people from Guatemala. No, he chose y'all to be a special people unto himself. But you know what he had to do? He had to let you know, man, stop living in your flesh. It's time to live in your spirit. It's time to get spiritual. It's time to look at things for what they really and truthfully are. And let me tear these things down and get these things out your way, because all these things that you putting your love into, you putting your heart into, these things, they can go away. All these pastors and priests and all these people that you put in high places, they can go. But you know what's going to stand forever and ever? Is this word. Is the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. And that's what we need to be living. That's what we need to be listening to. That's what we need to sit here and cleave to day and night, man. Keep reading.
Verse 5. Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God.
Exactly what I just said. All these things. They putting all these things in front of your face to make it more important than the Most High God. It's crazy because it's simple. The Lord said, don't eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. But when you go every commercial that hits the airwave, what does it have?
Pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster.
Pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. You can't even go to McDonald's. See, I'm gonna go to the cheapest of the cheap. You can't even go to McDonald's and ask for a sausage biscuit. Because what is a sausage made out of?
Pork out of one.
If you want to go to Shipley's or any donut place and get a kolache, what do you got? You got to ask people, what is it made out of? Because all the sausages that they have in there for the kolaches is made out of what?
Pork out of one.
You can't even get a regular croissant sandwich. You can't get a sausage croissant sandwich. You got to ask them, do they have turkey croissant sandwiches? Because the only thing they have is ham and sausage, and both of those things is what?
Pork out of one.
Pork. Brother, you can't even have a Rice Krispie treat. You can't even eat regular fruit snacks. Because fruit snacks, if it ain't the Mott's fruit snacks, let me tell you something. It got pork in it. Brother, do you know you can't even brush your teeth with certain toothpaste because it has gelatin in it that's made out of pork? The Lord said, don't eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. And what does this world do? Put pork in everything. You got to read the labels before you get anything, because whatever you grab at these stores is a product of pork. That's why you got to understand this, man. This warfare, man, you got to get spiritual with it. You got to understand, bro, you know what? I have to make sure that I live my life righteously daily, because this world has nothing but evil, has nothing but sinful things in it. As soon as you step outside, that's crazy that you can't even have a snack You can't even get your kids a snack. You can't even have a snack without making sure that it don't have pork in it, because everything got pork. It's crazy. Bro, do you know they even got beef jerkies that got pork? It contains pork as well. It got beef and pork put together. Same things with the people that like hot dogs. It got beef and pork put together. You got to find the turkey dogs, or you got to go to a halal spot and get straight, or you got to call Officer Tazadak. You know, that I ain't gonna lie, that's my food plug right there. That boy, Officer Tazadak, that boy will make you some chicken jerk. He'll make you some jerk chicken sausage. I'm telling you, it's worth the price. But you gotta go to your own people. You gotta find people that's like-minded like you to get food. Because everything else is just so ungodly. So why do you think that the Lord has to tear down those? Why do you think that he has to destroy all these images that's put above him? Read verse 5 again from me, Baba Kashar.
This is book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 5. Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God.
Keep reading.
And bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ.
Man, the Lord is sitting here tearing down all these strongholds. He's sitting here casting down all these images that you have and all these imaginations that you have. Why? Because that's what you sit here and fixate yourself on. Man, I'm talking about people love these stars and celebrities. Now all these stars and celebrities in a RICO case, or they dealing with a sex trafficking, or they dealing with some other stuff. Oh man, you know, hey, God blessing all the trap niggas. Okay, then now what's happening? All the trap niggas going to jail. All the trap niggas getting ran down on by YNs. You wonder why, dog, okay, so let's just be honest real quick. You wonder why we have all these YNs crashing out. The only reason why all YNs is crashing out is because of who they look up to. They see y'all crashing out. They see these celebrities talking about how they crash out and how they did that. And the only reason why they was able to do that is because they big homies let them do it. So now all these YNs, all these young brothers, as General Q says, all these sons of Zion, they all here crashing out because of what? The older folk. We ain't checking when it should have been checked. We ain't correct what should have been corrected so long ago, which was their mindset, because we had the same mindset. See, these same YNs that's crashing out because they got older was the same ones that y'all put on dummy missions when they was younger. Was the same ones y'all had go steal and go rob for y'all, so that way you ain't had your hands dirty on it. We got to be transformed with the renewing. We have to be conformed by the renewing of our minds, though. We have to transform our way of thinking. We have to wash the old. We have to wash the old out and allow the new to come in. That's the only way we're going to get our people out of this hell. That's the only way that we're going to keep our house strong. Our house is only strong when it's built on something. And the foundation is right here. Right here. Your foundation is right here. Your foundation is here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, under Commander General YAHANNA, because our foundation is following the law, statutes, and commandments. We are all taught to follow the law, statutes, and commandments and kill the old you daily. See, when you come out the world and you come into this school and you get your name, You know what you're saying when you get that oil poured on your head? You are saying, I am no longer this filthy person. But you got to also understand that it comes with a sacrifice too. Because if I said I'm no longer this filthy person, I have to let go of all the things that happened in my life. So all the childhood trauma that I had, that was under Aaron. All the mischief that I caused, all the people that I've hurt in the past, that was under Aaron. That's not under Priest and Officer Ron. Because Priest and Officer Ron wasn't abused as a child. Priest and Officer Ron never sat here and robbed, never sat here and did anything wrong. He followed the law, statutes, and commandments. But the worldly person, he lived in his flesh. He did the things against the Most High. But now the Most High, he pulled down all those strongholds. And he did that for every brother and sister that's here in the I.S.U.P.K. And he could do that for you too. But you have to choose. You have to choose that you're ready to really serve the Most High. Because the Bible says, man, if you are going to serve the Most High, you got to prepare your soul for temptation. Why do you got to prepare your soul for temptation? Because there's so many things that you used to do in your life that just became the norm. It became so normal to you that you don't even realize that it was wrong until you start getting into this school and you find out that everything you was doing was just against the Most High. Pimping women, oh, that's against the Most High. God dang. Eating pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. Man, I didn't know that was against the Most High. Smoking weed. Dang, that's against the Most High. Man, sitting here sleeping with white women, Chinese women, East Indians, and them Hamites. God dang, I didn't know that was against the Most High. The Most High told you not to make marriages with them. That's how you weaken your house. Keeping your house strong is by following the laws, statutes, and commandments, which means that you love your own. You deal with your own. You build up your own homes. That means you shouldn't be selling dope in your community. You shouldn't be selling drugs, period. Because your people that you selling drugs for, at the end of the day, when you get locked up, they're missing a big piece. Their biggest piece of the puzzle is gone, locked behind them bars. Because you feel like you had to sell drugs to what? To make sure that they're okay? Nah, you could do something else, dog. Let's go, let's drop that. Let's go to Psalms 1 and 1. Psalms 1 and 1. We're going to keep going on the topic of keeping your house strong, man. We're going to keep doing that because that's what we have to do right now. We have to teach each other how to keep our house strong. And the only way we can keep our house strong is us loving one another and preferring one another.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 1, verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
Blessed is the man that does what?
Walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
Keep going.
Nor standeth in the seat of the scornful. It's like here. Nor standeth in the way of sinners. Nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful.
Understand this, man. See, when you really change your life, when you really choose that, you know what, I'm going to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments, you start getting counsel. Because demons come into your mind and try to take you out of your position because now you are not doing their will. You're doing the will of your Father, who is the Most High God. You have to learn and be trained again. So now, what do you have to do? You have to get counsel. Why are you getting counseling? Because the things that you was taught since birth, you are finding out is wrong. So now you got to find out, okay, how do I walk in this new way? How do I walk in light instead of being in darkness? Because I done walked in darkness for 20 something years. You telling me to leave out of darkness to come into some light, but I don't know how to walk in light. So how do I walk in light? That's why the Bible says, blessed is the man that does what?
Walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
He walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. Blessed is that man. Because the counsel of the ungodly has you walking in what?
Sin, sir.
It has you walking in sin. You got to get out of that darkness. Understand this. The darkness is sin. The light is protection, is the law, statutes, and commandments. The Lord asks for you to walk in light, not in darkness. So understand this. When you're walking in darkness, it's because you're choosing sin over the Most High. But blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. You're not walking in that darkness. Keep going. Look, understand this. Everybody doesn't want to change. You cannot sit here and stand in the way of the Lord's judgment. Them people that decide they want to be ungodly and stay being ungodly, you got to move out the way. You can't walk in the way of them because what they're choosing to do is walking. They're choosing to go to battle with the Most High. And I don't know nobody's arms that's long enough to box with God. I don't know nobody that's big and bad enough to sit here and go against the Most High and think that they're going to win. Not even your oppressor. Your oppressor feel like he winning right now, but understand this. The only reason why he's in the position that he is because the Lord is allowing it. Because if the Lord wanted to stop it, the only thing the Lord had to do, he don't even have to snap a finger. Everything could go black. The sky could crack open. Armageddon could happen. And there's nothing anybody would be able to do. So don't be in the way of sinners, man. Don't stand in the way of sinners. Nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. Keep reading. Verse 2. Understand this, man. Your job is to meditate in these scriptures. Get counsel. Come into the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General YAHANNA. Do your 90 days, man. Learn the Bible the way that it was supposed to be taught to you. Figure out who you are. Figure out your identity. Not only do that, start meditating in these scriptures day in and day out, day and night. So that way you can be in light and not in darkness. Keep reading.
Verse 3. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper.
Hey, use a different mic. For some reason, you're not being picked. You're not being picked up at all. I can barely hear you.
Verse 3. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of the water
Mm-hmm.
that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper.
And that's the thing right there, man. Man, you walking in light, it's saying, and he shall be like a tree planted by the river of water. What is a tree planted by water? What is that tree gonna get?
Life. It's gonna grow.
It's gonna grow.
Huh.
Does that tree ever have to worry about not having enough water? Does it have to worry about ever being dry? Right. So it's like being like a tree planted near water, right? And then it says a river of water that bringeth forth his fruit in his season, right? And it said his leaf also shall not wither. That means a tree. See, this is what we do. It's just like, say for instance, if you're fasting for a long period of time, what does your body need?
Nourishment, sir.
It needs nourishment. So if you like a tree that's planted near a river, what are you getting nonstop?
Nourishment.
You're getting nourishment. You're getting the things that you need. So that way you can bring forth what? Good what?
Fruit out of one.
It's good fruit. See, when you are meditating in these scriptures day in and day out, right? You being fed. Your brain is being fed what you need. You're getting breakdowns, you're getting counsel. So your body is starting to absorb all this water, all this nourishment. For what? For you to be what? A light in darkness. And while you being a light in darkness, you are bringing out good fruit. You are giving good fruit to the next person. You're telling the next person, hey, this is what I want for you. Hey, this is what we have for you. This is what you should live like. This is how you should be. And you don't have to worry about your leaves, what, withering away? Because why do leaves die off? Why do branches break off easily? Because they're what?
Dry, sir.
They're dry. They're dry rotted. They're dead because they don't have enough nourishment. They don't have enough people pouring into them the good things that the Lord has. And that's the same thing with you. You sitting here going to these places thinking that these churches and all these other places is giving you these good things. They're giving you nourishment and they're really not. Your body needs water, but it's giving you nothing but alcohol in these churches. And you're wondering why your body's shutting down, your liver's shutting down, your kidneys shutting down. Why? Because you're doing nothing but drinking liquor instead of getting some of this nourishment, instead of you getting these electrolytes, instead of you getting this water, instead of you getting this detox. See, that's what the truth is. The truth is the detox from all the unhealthy stuff that you got in this world. You have to choose to cleanse yourself. You have to choose to be healthy. Because how you living right now in this world is very unhealthy. Don't think that we just talking down on you because we were once you. There's plenty of times, bro, I feel like I cheated death a couple of times. When I was in the world, I used to say that I cheated death. I didn't cheat death. The Most High decided to have mercy on me because he had a bigger plan for me. Him to see the bigger plan. I couldn't walk in the counsel of the ungodly because the ungodly put me in the chance. It put me in a spot where I could have been in a penitentiary, or I could have just been staring down a barrel of guns like I've done multiple times in my life. There's still situations to this day that I think about, and I'll be like, the Most High must have really wanted me in this truth. Because I know for a fact there was a bullet that had my name on it a long time ago. And I'm not even 30. But I knew a long time ago. I was happy. See, where I come from, we were happy that we made 15. Then we was happy, bro. It was like, hey, man, you balled out if you made it to 21. I got so many partners locked up doing life. I got so many partners in a casket right now. They didn't even get to see 21. But the Lord chose us, dog. And by the Lord choosing us, we have to choose him. Let's drop that, man. Go to Proverbs 4 and 14. Let's go to Proverbs 4 and 14.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 14. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil.
Keep reading.
Verse 15. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away.
Understand this, man. These scriptures, and this is the craziest thing, man. These scriptures tell you exactly what you have to do to have a strong house. It's telling you to enter not into the path of the wicked. It's telling you that. And this is what you have to teach your children. Look, I understand that the world is telling you to be a baddie, but look, you're going to be a woman that has dignity. Like, I got a daughter right now, and my daughter don't hear me call her no bitches, no hoes, no nothing like that. My daughter hears me call her princess. But come here, baby. Come here, princess. What's going on, baby? My son don't hear me calling him nigga this, nigga that. Nah, you ain't shit or nothing. No. My son hears me calling him, hey, come here, son. Come here, mighty man. Come here, warrior. There's a saying that, like, you train up the child in the way that it should go, so that way when they grow older, that they don't depart from you. Both of my children, we have a saying for both of my children. My son knows that he's strong, he's smart, he's handsome, and he can do anything. Anything he put his mind to, he can do that. My daughter knows that she is strong, she is smart, she is a beautiful ruby in this world. And then she could do anything that she put her mind to. My children know that. That's going to be instilled in them from them being 2-year-olds until the day that they father passes away. And even after that, because they're going to always remember that my father taught me this. I'm not teaching my children. I'm not going to teach my daughter to be just a woman that don't need nobody. I'm going to teach her to be able to take care of herself. I'm going to teach her how to do everything that she needs to do. So that way, if she doesn't have a husband, she can still stand on her own. But I'm going to also teach her, if you have a husband, cleave to him. Love and respect him. Bring peace to him so that way he brings peace to you. Because y'all's dynamic, like y'all's marriage should go off of that dynamics. It should be in kind to one another. That's something that I learned from General Muhammad. I thought everything was about respect. Now you disrespected me. General Muhammad was like, in your marriage, take the word respect out and saying being kind. If you focus on being kind to one another, then you shouldn't have no problem. Because everybody wants to be treated kindly, right? If you want me to talk to you with respect, that means I'm treating you kind. I'm not talking to you like you're beneath me. I'm talking to you like, hey, brother, look, man, hey, look, I need you to do this for me. That's being kind to one another. Hey, sis, hey, Salakia, sis, if you could, Baba Kashah, could you do this for me? That's being kind to one another. That's what we have to focus on, man. Don't enter in the path of the wicked. and go not into the way of the evil men. Why don't you go into those ways? Because those ways are nothing but trouble. Why do you think in this world nowadays, how many times have you heard about somebody being sex trafficked? How many times have you heard about women being taken advantage of by multiple men? That is the path of the wicked. How many times have you heard about churches having problems where deacons and ministers and stuff was going on camping trips or talking to the youth or talking to your woman and then trying to lay down with them? How many times have you heard of grown men trying to talk to young women? When I say young women, I'm talking about little girls. Like on my timeline, not too long ago, I think it was matter of fact, it was before class today. One of my cousins shared this story, and it was a brother, like he was being scrutinized because this man is wicked. And this brother sat here and was texting this little girl. Like the little girl is telling him, stop, could you please stop texting me this? Can you please stop doing this? Because this is the stepfather in the household. And the stepfather is trying to sit here and push himself on this little girl, and this little girl is asking him to please stop. So the little girl ended up running to her mother and showing her mother all the text messages. Because the stepfather asked her to delete the text messages. She said, okay. But instead of deleting them, she took them to her mother. And now there's a whole situation based off of that. That's what happens when you walk into what? The ways of the wicked and the ways of evil men. You start doing what your oppressor did. Your oppressor used to do that. Your oppressor did that to our ancestors. Your oppressor used to go into them, the slave houses and take the mothers and take the men and take the young girls. And he used to have his way with y'all. He used to have his way with our people. And that's what you're doing now. You're doing the same thing that he did. Don't follow in that way, man. It's time for us to stop that. It's time for us to stop walking in the path of the wicked. Don't sell drugs in your community, because the only thing you're doing is killing your own people. That's crazy that a rap star made a song talking about in the song he said that he sold drugs to his partner's mother. Your partner's mother is a dope fiend, and you used to sell to her. What kind of partner is you? Bro, you an evil man, and you doing the same thing that your oppressor did. Don't walk in those ways. Keep reading.
Okay. Verse 16. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall.
Keep going.
Verse 17. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence.
Understand this, man. The Bible is letting you know. It's letting you know, for they sleep not, except they have done mischief. See, these people that walk in evil, the people that walk with the wicked, bro, they don't sleep until they do something mischievous. Man, hey, man, I ain't going to sleep, man. I'm staying up all night long. I got to sell these rocks. Hey, man. Hey, say, girl, you better get on that corner and you better get all my money, because you ain't going to sleep until you make all my money. Sound familiar? These people don't sleep. The people that love mischief, the people that love being wicked, they don't sleep until they done being mischievous. They can't get no good night's sleep until that. And understand this, it says, for they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. Why is that? Because that's all that they know. They know for a fact, I got to be wicked. And that's what they are teaching us. Why do you think, bro, why do you think the house of Israel is so divided and so destroyed? Because the only thing that we deal with is people eating the bread of wickedness and drinking the wine of violence. They taught us, bro, I keep telling y'all, they teaching us how to destroy the house of Israel, not build it up. Walking in the ways of the wicked and being hand in hand with these evil men is teaching us how to destroy ourselves. It's not teaching us how to build ourselves. It's not teaching us how to love one another. It's showing us all the ways of wickedness. So what do you have to do to break that? You have to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. Where we living in, the world that we deal with, is nothing but wickedness and violence. It's nothing but wickedness and violence. And how can I come up? Who do I got to step on so that way I can come up? That's the world we live in. That's the sad part. The world we live in is literally that. Who do I got to step on so that way I can get up higher? It ain't who do I need to uplift so that way we can both make it up this mountain together. Or if I put this brother on my shoulders and he get up higher, he gonna climb over this cliff and then he gonna pull me up. Nah, that ain't what we living in. The world we living in is, oh man, if I help this nigga, hey man, if I help this nigga gonna get up there and he gonna leave me for dead. And the other person's mindset is, hey man, hey bro, you can help me. Yeah, help me get up there, man. I'm gonna take care of you, bro. I'm gonna take care of you once I get up there. And little do he know, once I get up here, man, I'm gone. I ain't got shit. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, hey, appreciate you, and go. That's the world we live in, man. And that's not what we should be dealing with, dog. That's not how it should be. Keep reading.
Verse 18. But the path of the just is as the shining light that shineth more and more unto the perfect day.
Keep going.
Verse 19. The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not what they stumble. It's like know not at what they stumble.
Keep going.
Verse 20. My son, attend to my words. Incline thine ear unto my sayings. Verse 21. Let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep them in the midst of thine heart.
Keep going.
22. For they are life unto those that bind them, and health to all their flesh.
Keep going.
Verse 23. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issue. It's like issues of life.
Understand this, man. When it says in the beginning, when it says, but the path of the just is of a shining light, man, it's talking about people that's following the law, statutes, and commandments. Look, the reason why we have such a hard job, the reason why it's not easy for people to be righteous when you first learning how to be righteous. It's not easy for that. The easiest thing to do is to continue in sin. But what you have to do is what? You have to choose to be set apart and separate. And you have to choose to walk in light. That path is going to be hard. It's going to be hard when you first started. Why? Because everything that's fun that you feel like you missing out on is in darkness. But little do you know, you're supposed to be the shining light for all the people that's around you that's wicked, to show them the way of the light. So that way, maybe, just maybe, if they are called by the Lord's name, they will come into that light with you. You have to be a shining light. But you can't be that if you still on that seesaw. You teeter-tottering. You walking that fine line. You walking that tightrope. Nah, bro, you got to choose what you want to do. Because it's crazy. You know, with gangs, it's either you get down or you lay down, right? That's what the Most High too. The Most High is giving you an opportunity to get down with the law, statutes, and commandments and being a better person before you end up having to lay down and be slaughtered in front of him. So what do you want to do? You want to get down or you want to lay down? You want to follow the law, statutes, and commandments and live forever? Or do you want to sit here and do what you feel like doing? And when the Lord comes back for his day of judgment, he has to slay you. He has to bring you before him and show you why you should have been following him. See, you got respect for all these people that you see, but you don't have respect for the Most High that's letting you know that, look, I love you. And even though I love you, this is what I want you to do. But if you don't want to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, then I'm going to have to deal with you. Because what you are showing me is you don't care about me. You don't care about being a light in darkness. You don't care about coming out of this world and being something new. And I asked you to be great. It's like a father talking to his children. I told you to come in before the street lights came on, and you didn't do that. So forget my rules. You don't care about my rules. So you know what? Now you're on punishment. But see, the Lord's punishment is different because the Lord is a man of war. I don't know what these pastors keep telling y'all. I think they telling y'all that God is an all-loving God and he's an all-peace and he has all understanding and all this other stuff, and he ain't gonna never leave you or forsake you or nothing like that. Okay. All right. This Bible tells you that the Lord is a man of war. This Bible also tells you that the Lord don't hear sinners. This Bible also tells you that you have a time frame where you need to renew your mind and choose to be the person that the Lord wanted you to be. Because if you don't become that person, then the Bible tells you that the Lord will slay you. Don't think that you are above it. Because see, even in the I.S.U.P.K, we daily trying to make sure that we're gonna be straight with the Lord. Daily, we around here like, man, look, man, I gotta keep this zeal. I gotta keep this zeal, because if I don't keep this zeal, man, I don't know. The Lord might tell me, you know what? Oh, you don't want to keep your zeal? I will move out the way. Let somebody else take it. Now, you know what? I don't even need you no more. Look, that's one thing I don't want. I don't want the Lord to ever get tired of me to the point where he don't want to hear me no more. I don't want the Lord to ever decide, you know what? I don't need him. I don't want him. I don't need him. You know, let him die. I don't want the Lord to decide that. I don't want him to ever say that about me. And I don't want him to say that about you neither. But the only way for us to strengthen up our home, strengthen up our house, is for us to come back and follow the law, statutes, and commandments and show the Lord that we are his true chosen people and that we are deciding to choose him over everything that's of this world, because this world has done nothing but shown us how to be against him. let's go. We're gonna go to this precept real quick. We're gonna go to these last two and then we'll get up out of here. All right. Go to 1 John 5 and 3.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
How do you show God that you love him? By you doing what?
Keep his commandments.
Keep going.
And his commandments are not grievous.
Understand this, man. You showing the Most High that you love him, it's not hard. It's what you have to choose to do. The same way that it wasn't hard for you to go back and do evil and mischievous things, it's not hard for you to choose the Lord. You just got to have that same zeal. The same zeal that you had to do wrong, have that same zeal to do right. Keep reading.
Verse 4. For whatsoever is born of God overcometh the world. And this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith.
Understand this, man. You being born of God, man, you're going to overcome this world. Like, the Most High, go to 2 John 1 and 6. Dog, like, the Lord chose you. The Lord chose you to be a special people unto himself. You was born in the Most High's house because he chose you to be there. He chose Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians to be there. So you can overcome this world if you choose to. But again, it's a choice. If you choose to fall to this world, again, it was a choice. You can't sit here and say, oh, no, my circumstances is the reason why I chose this. Nah, because even the people in the worst circumstances, do you know how many athletes, let's just talk. Do you know how many athletes say, you know, I grew up in poverty. I grew up in a household with 6 brothers and 2 sisters, and we was all in one room, and we had to make a big old pallet on the floor with multiple comforters and all that. And now I'm a football star and I can take care of my whole house. Do you know how many people say that? You know how many people that said, oh, I came from a single parent household and I was destroyed. But you know what? You know, my mom held it down and now we did what we got to do. Now I'm a basketball star making millions of dollars. I'm a football star making millions of dollars. I'm a baseball star that making hundreds of millions and billions of dollars. So what's your reason? What's your excuse now? Because if you can overcome the world to become a star or an athlete, why you can't overcome the world to be a soldier for the Most High or a princess for the Most High? There's no reason why. If you love the Lord, follow the laws, statutes, and commandments, and understand this, you are going to overcome this world. If you choose the Lord, you'll overcome this world. And not only will you overcome this world, you will be the Most High's soldier. You will be something that the Most High is happy about. Don't be something that the Most High got to sit here and scratch his head on and be like, man, look, here they go again. Here go Lil John. Yep, Lil John on the same stuff again. Man, look, angels, I need a report. How many times has Lil John sat here and done this same thing over and over again? How many times have I showed mercy on Lil John? All right, well, look, man, hey, this time we're going to go ahead and give him a little something worse to let Lil John know that this is his last opportunity. The next time he's going to die. If you follow the law, statutes, and commandments because you say you love the Lord, This go for the Christian church too. Like, hey, I'm calling everybody on this. If you love the Lord the way that you say you do, follow his laws, statutes, and commandments. Stop thinking that his laws is done away with, because they're not. Follow the laws, statutes, and commandments, and you will overcome this world and the fleshly things that are in this world. Go ahead and read that precept you got. 2 John, it was 2 John 1 and 6. Go ahead.
This is the book of 2 John, chapter 1, verse 6. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments. This is the commandment, that as ye have heard from the beginning, ye should walk in it.
Understand this, man. Love, true love, that feeling y'all talking, it ain't no feeling. True love is an action. This is something that you do. You got to walk in that every day. The only way that you can make sure that your household stays strong is for you to walk in love, which is following the law, statutes, and commandments, teaching everybody around you to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. But the only way for you to do that is for you to be taught. You have to be, when the scripture says, be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God. See, that's telling you right there, bro. You have to be trained all over again. You gotta renew your mind, because your mind has not been trained on following God. So go ahead and come into the I.S.U.P.K. Do your 90 days. Let your mind be washed. Everybody talking about, oh, I'm brainwashed. Look, man, if me being brainwashed is me following the will of my Father, well, I'm brainwashed. If me being dumb and me being stupid is by me following the law, statutes, and commandments and following what my Father asked me to do from day one, that I didn't realize he was asking me to do from day one until I got into this school, well, I can be whatever you want me to be. Call me whatever you want. Call me crazy. Call me in a coat. Call me whatever you want to. But just know this. I choose my Father's business over whatever this world has for me. And you should too. And with that, we're going to say a majum, which means to stand. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers, then to the sisters. Men of Israel, Bible Shabbat, Majum, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Brakatah, Yakni Matah, Sora, which means face the sister. Men of Israel, Bible Shabbat, Majum, Barak, Yahweh Shemal Atah Shem Yahweh Shah, Yakni Matah. Class dismissed.